Outside the Dreca building, it was a gorgeous spring day, even when you're looking through the windows. Unfortunately, I couldn't afford windows. That's me, Tony Risotto, Private Eye. Then, like the voice of an angel that can sing the blues, the phone rang. Risotto Investigations, Tony here.
Hey Tony, it's Pinky. I got a job for you.
It was my ex, Pinky Smaldino, headmistress for interactive curriculum. She could talk pretty fast, but she was sharp as the fourth turn at the Daytona Speedway.
You gotta have a good instructional model. You need to find the 10 guiding principles of instructional technology and distance education. So what do you say, Tony? It's 5 G's for you if you figure it out by midnight tonight.
5 G's, huh? That's good enough for me, especially in a month like this. But where in the world was I going to find a good instructional model? And what about those 10 guiding principles anyway? So I went for the obvious source. Google knows everything. It seemed like this Nikki person really knew her stuff. If anybody in this old town could help me, I knew it was going to be her.
Instructional model, Nikki Montessori at your service. Now I'll be frank, Tony. I only have a few minutes for this. Now let's make some money and be snappy about it.
Okay, let's get started with the 10 guiding principles.
We're looking for the best practices.
I don't know what the problem is.
Exactly. We need to understand the problem. Needs assessment and task analysis is the first principle. Now what's the second?
Principle number 2, I guess we have to figure out who we're teaching.
That's right. What's the context? Are we talking about distance education, face-to-face, something else? Maybe a blend.
Well, I agree with that in theory. What's the third principle?
You just said it, Tony. Solid theoretical approaches.
We're interacting pretty well here.
Again, you just said it. Consistent interactivity helps keep learners involved.
All this educational stuff is starting to make my head hurt. I think I'm ready to listen to some nice jazz.
Listening to jazz is a good idea for the 5th principle. You have to choose the appropriate media.
6 principles must cost plenty. I can only imagine footing the bill for 10.
I agree. The 6th principle should be about management, developing instruction, and keeping an eye on the budget.
Well, we're up to number 7 now. How do we make it happen?
Implementation is where the rubber meets the road. A good, strong effort is needed here every time.
I'll buy that, but how do we know if we're done? How do we know if we got it right?
Principle number 8 is the feedback loop. Assessment and evaluation, that's how we know.
Yeah, well, there you go. After I do all this work, I would think I would want to tell the world what I just did.
Oh yeah, Tony. Principle number 9 then, to contribute the results of your experience in the form of research.
This is great. We have 9 out of the 10 principles. Nikki, look out behind you. Nikki, she ran off, so I was off to the alley. I don't give up too easy. I walked around and I saw her before she saw me. Nikki, are you okay? That big thug tried to keep you from helping me out with the 10th principle.
Tony?
We talk about it? We're almost out of time.
The 10th principle is the most important one. And it's been right in front of you the whole time.
Now it's obvious. You need to choose the best instructional model.
Oh, Tony. I knew you had it in you. I think this is going to be the start of a beautiful friendship.